Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the League of Europe. We are here for round number 15 around the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. If I have said that wrong, I apologise to any French people that are listening. My name is Jaco, and I am back once again. Of course, I took it off last week for Bahrain, but of course, I am here. And finally, joined alongside me, we finally got the both of us in comms for once. Ross, RJ, we're finally both back here together.
It's weird. I'm not used to being here at the same time as you. It's odd.
It really is, and as I say, I think for the past, what is it, one, two, I think it's about, is it? Am I right in saying it's like the past three races we haven't
Um,
been in comms together?
were you at Kota? I, was I at Kota?
But I don't
I
think we
can't
have been at
remember.
Kota.
Not Kota, Qatar. That's the one.
Yeah, no, I was there for Qatar. If you were there for Qatar, then I might be a bit exaggerating.
Potentially. Yeah, I can't remember.
What a good memory we have. But yeah, as I say, we're here for round number 15. I think we are just waiting for all of the drivers to get themselves in. We're just missing one other person, and then we should be able to get this straight underway. But um, yeah, I think this could be a bit of an interesting one. The championship is definitely spiced up to the max at the moment. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Elijah White is still in the lead of this championship, but well, after the performance he did at Bahrain, he's pulled away just an extra bit from the rest of the guys behind him.
Yeah, Farrell had a bit of a mid-race meltdown. Um, yeah,
It's the old
started
age.
battling. Yeah, started defending really hard, or yeah, fighting battles that you probably shouldn't have, and it pushed him down the field. And then I don't know what the outcome of him versus Stomper was in the end. If I can have a look, Stomper actually got a race ban for what he did to Farrell. So yeah, I think it was a bit of back and forth, and then yeah, Stomper took it a bit too far. Um, but yeah, Farrell got 1 point. I think he started on pole, so not good. And that's happened quite a few times this season.
Yeah, he's only picked up the one win out of all of these. I think he's had about, what, 4 or 5 different pole positions so far. So,
Yeah.
yeah, not the best showing for Farrell. But again, I know last week wasn't really his fault. So, um, yeah, I suppose there's that to play into the hand of that. But I'll tell you what, Cam ended up picking up the win last week and his first win of the season, his second podium of the season in Alloy as well. After he got the one at Monza reinstated, after ironically Farrell had taken him off of that podium. Um, but yeah, I think Cam looking like he's a little bit more on form now as well. Conor O'Keefe, fourth place last week, means he's only 1 point behind Farrell. So yeah, I think was it the top, if I'm not mistaken, top 8 drivers can all still win this championship, and they're only separated by 64 points between the four of them, between the 8 of them. Sorry, and we still got a sprint next week. So I think after that sprint, I think is then we're going to see who is still going to be in contention. Sorry, for this championship.
Yeah, I think mathematically it goes a lot further down, but realistically, um, well, even top eight's a push, but 60 odd points can be done. Um, yeah, did you say what the sprint next week at Kota? So yeah, that'll eliminate quite a lot of people getting down to once you get down to the final two races. Um, it's still all easily in YHYY's control. 35 points clear of second. It's going to take a lot for anyone to close that up, but everyone's still everyone behind that's really close still. So you never know.
Yeah, as we always say, anything can happen, especially with D3, as it's been so far this season. I can't believe that we're almost at the end of it already. Now that I think about it, the fact we're on round 15 of 18. I've probably to others it felt like it's probably felt a while, but it's genuinely it's felt like it's gone really quick, and
Well,
I do
it's
enjoy D3.
it's because we've missed about half the races.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, no, I do always enjoy doing comms over D3, and as I say, they're drivers that are they're not bad, but they're not at the sort of like close-ish to an esports level. I'm sure they probably won't mind me saying that. But as I say, it always makes for good racing with all the guys in Division Three. And as I say, I don't know if you feel the same as well, Ross, but I always enjoy watching Division Three, especially now considering that this is probably going to be the closest title fight that we may have in this division, probably ever in LOE. I think we might be in for a bit of a cracker towards the end of the season.
It's on for a good one. It reminds me. See, not that points wise, it reminds me of the D2 season. Like I think was it last game, where Commentalist and I think no Time and ended up winning. I think it was Timer from Commentalist. It was like just yeah, people. It was going back and forth. It wasn't like anyone really wanted to win it.
Yeah.
In a way, but that was still a hell of a lot closer than the gap between one and first and second is right now. YTY has done a much better job than either of those did trying to pull away, but it is just no one really wants to take control. Even YTY, he's had a lot of moments this season where he hasn't been there, and he's just been the one that's more consistent as he goes. Well, they've only just started setting lap times. He was first, but no longer.
Yeah, no, I mean, as you say, I think he had a little bit of a bad spell from Zandvoort, Abu Dhabi, Qatar. You know, they weren't not places where he did particularly too well, and others started to catch up to him. I think Farrell probably was the one that had a big misdemeanor on that Abu Dhabi. I mean, he had the perfect opportunity of catching up, and then I think some instance that he got caught up in, as well as I don't know if that may have just been on him as well, but yeah, I think I think it's definitely up to how the rest of these guys are going to try and chase down YHRY. I mean, him sitting in fourth at the moment in this qualifying session isn't a bad start, but yeah, for the likes of Farrell, Connor, Matt Tibos, Cooley Kicker, Jordan, Cam, and Hepular Boy, as I say, all of those guys are the ones that, and I suppose we could still count MCR, but yeah, I suppose we can still count MCR in this as well. They're all chasing down YHYY. A 70-point difference between the top 9. 4 races left. Again, as you say, mathematically it's still possible, but I think by the time it gets to when we get to Las Vegas, the penultimate race of the season, by then either YHYY is absolutely clear from performance over at Austin and Canada, or he's going to be right in the trenches with the rest of the guys. And I'm not gonna lie, it'd be nice to see YHYY win a title, but at the same time, I kind of also hope for the latter, because then it just makes it a much spicier, much more entertaining finale to this season. I don't know about you, but I feel like that would make it a lot better watch, I suppose.
And everyone that's watching wants it to go down to the wire, but I don't know. Some of the drivers have got to earn that right, and some of them have just. Some of them are surprises that they're up there and they've had good seasons. Some of the ones that are in that mix from second to eighth should have got more points. So they've now got 4 races in a sprint to show to prove that, and just try and put on a fight. But mathematically, it's looking like it's going to be one of those where we get to Brazil and it's not done, but it's all but done, if you get what I mean. Like, it's mathematically still on, but YHY would have to retire and someone would have to come second or whatever. It's looking like it's heading towards that.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen it. He has not. There is a race that he hasn't scored points at, which was at Zandvoort. So there is always still that possibility of him picking up a 0 points race. And I know Canada is one of those races that it's very, even though it's just chicane central, it can still be quite easy to bin it around this track, and especially out towards a Wall of Champions. I know a lot of people can and tend to lose their front wing at that part. So I won't be at all surprised if we see a few more pit stops than what we'd be expecting of like a normal one-stopper for this evening. But first sets of times all on the board. 4 drivers yet to put a time on the board of Crack, Mats, MCR, and Chill. Chill, in fact, actually just coming out of the pits. MCR's just made his way into the pits, I think, invalidated on his first run. Matt's not yet to come out, and Crack is actually just starting his flying lap now. So we'll stick on board with the Williams as he's just making his way now through turns number 4 and 5. Through the, I suppose it is still technically turn 6. Excuse me, and yeah, as I say, making his way now through the, I suppose, technically the 3rd chicane up to probably the 4th chicane of 5 on this circuit, and probably I would say the one that is the trickiest one to get right, because again, it can be very easy to chuck it out on towards that grass and also to slam it into that side of the wall. Even though a lot of people will probably say the Wall of Champions is the easier one to bid it at, I would have to say that middle chicane net probably still the worst one out of the lot of them, and easiest one that I think you can probably do to bin it, because it's probably the fastest chicane other than the final chicane on this circuit. But Crack now with only just 2 corners left to go, of course being that final chicane leading towards the Wall of Champions, as he makes his way through it, cuts it very nicely, lagging all over the place, but I mean, from the looks of things, it looked like he cut that very nicely up towards the line, 5 thousandths of a second up ahead of Connor O'Keefe, and on the pole position for Crack. Could be a track specialist of this. Could maybe fancy this track for him.
Yeah, we'll have to see, but it's a decent reward. 2nd runs now, times will start tumbling. You just get there, your eye in your foot in the door with that first set of tyres. But I expect this time to come in thick and fast now. Coming down, we've still got 3 drivers yet to set a lap time. Max is still in the pits. MCR is coming round to start a flying lap, and Chill, I think Chill is on the flying lap coming up to the final chicane. So Chill's had some decent-ish races since he's come back. I'll actually have to find. He had a podium in Bahrain as he crosses the line and goes 5th for the moment. Yeah, podium in Bahrain. I think he was 6th in Qatar, but it would have been more I think he had a moment with his teammate in that race. He's clearly got the pace. He's dropped down from D2. He wasn't as complete and utter slouch in D2. He just couldn't keep it on the track. Which seems to be the theme of Chill no matter what division he's in. As he's just hit the wall as I've said that. So, great timing.
Yeah, I suppose we could say that's typical Chill. He does make the mistake here and there, I've got to admit. But when he is, if it's a track that he likes, we definitely know that he's got it. And like you say, podium last week at Bahrain, I suppose, has proven that as well. MCR just making his way up towards the line onto pole position, the 10.455. Very good time from him, but Cam K, I think, is on more of an improvement on that. The American, he's making his way up towards the line. It's going to be a 10.7 up only into P5. I think he must have made a slight mistake in that final sector. But yeah, MCR straight onto pole position after not completing a time as of yet. Still only one person to complete a time is Tim Mats, which I'm quite surprised we haven't seen him put a time on the board as of yet. YHY came across the line and chuck his car up into 8th position. So he's trying to project his way up as well. Jordan, the Scotsman, coming across the line, invalidated on his final run, but it was a 10th and a bit up on his time. So it would have gone ahead of, ironically, YHY, but invalidation, of course, proving to be that bit extra difficult for himself. And riding on board with one of the other championship contenders of Farrell is, in fact, as I said, Matt Tibos up to P3, a 10.6 for him as well. Didn't even realise he managed to jump up in that as well throughout all of that. But Farrell, he's now making his way up towards the end of the 2nd sector. Is he up on his time? He is by 3.5 tenths of a second. So this will put him ahead of YHY. I think it will actually split the 2 Hasses if it finishes the way that it did in that 2nd sector. But there's probably a little bit extra time for him to find in this final sector, especially in that final chicane. If you cut that just right, extra couple attempts that you can gain from all of that. So Farrell making his way up towards the final chicane now. Probably didn't cut it as much as what I would have expected it to, but probably still going to be more of an improvement regardless. Up to the line he comes, and it's a 10.775, as I say, splitting the two Hasses into P8. Very nice time from the Irishman, and it's all heating up now, Ross. Top 12, separated by under half a second.
Yeah, and just looking at the order, I know they haven't done their final runs yet. Just looking at the order, this is a theme of qualifying in this division as well. 1 week, you'll get this order, and then the next week it will be completely flipped. The top like 12 or so will be like those that are in 10th, 11th right now will be at the top. That's why I think that's part of the reason no one scored points consistently. They're just so up and down every week, and it's whoever can make the most of that. Is there anyone actually on a flying lap now, or are they all on banker laps? Crack, I think, is just starting a lap. Just trying to find if there's anyone on a lap. Connor O'Keefe is probably either on an outlap or coming into the pits. Cooley Kicker, I think, might be on a lap. He's using his battery, so he's just coming through the hairpin, and he is pushing it. Didn't see the sector split there through sector 2, but Cooley Kicker going to come up through the last chicane. Absolutely send it through there. It's scary how much speed you can actually carry through there now. And up to first, 10.2. We're getting close to to a sub 10. But Cooley Kicker up to P1 for now. And I don't know how much time they've got left in the session, but surely there's enough time to get back in the pits and put on a final set of tyres.
Yeah, there is. I think there's about like 3.5 or maybe 3 minutes left of the session, so I think he's got plenty of time to still get in, get a change of tyres, and get out as well for Cooley Kicker, as long as he doesn't run out of fuel as well. But he's going very, very slowly, almost stopped.
He has run out of fuel, no?
Yeah, I think he has run out of fuel. Connor O'Keefe was just running on board with him. What's happened there? Chill gone in straight into the back of him.
Yeah. Cooley Kicker was sat on the racing line around the bend. You can't see round. Chill's not going to be happy with that one. That's pretty slam dunk in my eyes. I can't say anything to. Yeah, that's going to be a penalty heading Cooley Kicker's way quite easily.
Not good at all from one of the championship protagonists, of course. Trying to chase down YHYY, that's definitely going to hinder him. He'll probably have a qualifying ban for Kota. I suppose luckily for him, it is a sprint race next week. Because, and AlphaTauri's just hit the back of Connor O'Keefe as well. Was that Matt's? No, that was Jay Hings. Jay Hings slamming into the back of Connor O'Keefe. Connor O'Keefe was well off of the racing line. So I'm not sure why Jay Hings has done that, but Matt's up to the line into P13 and 111.2 for the Dutchman. Yeah, Connor O'Keefe is now starting, or I think is probably going to be his final flying lap. But yeah, very interesting. An AlphaTauri Jay Hings just randomly ran into the back of him. Not sure what that was about. I don't think Jay Hings is actually going to be able to get back out and get a lap on the board now. After that, that was very, very interesting. There's Connor O'Keefe around out of the first sector. And I think that's going to be his lap times done. He has not got enough fuel to go again. You can see that fuel light flashing, almost blocking as well. I think that was Crack. Luckily, Crack's not on a lap. But yeah, wow. Very, very hectic qualifying session as Ryan B just come across the line to put it into P7. And Cooley Kicker's been disqualified for parking the car in a dangerous location. He's out of the second chicane with no fuel. Our pole sitter has been disqualified.
He couldn't get up the hill. I'm assuming that's what it was. It's either he's had to let everyone through, and it's done him, or he didn't have enough to. But surely it's because he sat just waiting for everyone to go through. At that point, if I'm going into that chicane, you go all the way off to the left and you cut it. because you're off the racing line on that left hand side. You just crawl along and let everyone go through. But yeah, that's really not good. Because the penalty is still going to be coming his way. But yeah, not the way from pole to disqualified.
That he is. Matt Tibbles up to the line. P3 separating the two Mercedes, and very decent time from him. There's an Aston Martin that was having a bit of a moment there. I think that might have been Hepula Boy out of the first couple of corners. So yeah, I don't think the Finn's going to be able to get another time on the board. I think P15 is going to be the best of where Hepula Boy is starting, unfortunately for him. Mr. Valter in the Ferrari down in P16 and 111.6 is his best time at the moment. Cam just coming across the line to start his final flying lap. There is another Hasto of Lars, I think, is just coming to the end of his qualifying session. It's P9 only jumping up ahead of Farrell by 1 position. Another AlphaTauri of Jay Hings just starting his lap. Mr. 2 Mercedes though, we're out on our final well, checkered flag is now out, so it's up to the Mercedes to see if they can maybe do it. Jordan's gone into the pits, but is Ryan B going to be able to dethrone MCR? It was Coley Kicker on pole. Is it going to be someone different now, though? No, Ryan B doesn't manage to dethrone him. Matt Tibos, as I say, isn't going to be able to dethrone him either. It's up to Crack. Crack goes on the pole position with a 10.452. Mr. Valter into P6, but Crack...
Tibos?
If I'm not mistaken, it might be his first pole position of the season.
It might be. I don't think Tibos is miles down, so that's going to be... I think there's only Cam and Lars. Lars is well off the track, so that's qualifying done for the Haas driver. I think it's just Cam, and I don't know if this is going to be enough for Cam K. He's just come through the final chicane. Yeah, it's not going to be enough. He's down on his time, so Jay Hings is still going as well, but Jay Hings is up, but I don't think he's up enough. Needs about 8 temps. It was 4 temps as he crosses the line. Yeah, it's not enough, but Jay Hings does go up to 5th place. But Crack onto pole position by 3,000 over MCR. It's very close at the front. I mean, what, a 10th between the top 5? The top 6? Yeah, it's close.
It is very close indeed. But yeah, like I say, Crack on pole position after Cordy getting disqualified. MCR lining up alongside him. I think that's a very interesting front row. Ryan B in the Mercedes in 3rd and Matt Tibos in 4th. Jay Hings in 5th and Jordan in 6th. Farrell, wow, down in P7. I think that might be one of his lower places that he's actually qualified in throughout the season. And then I think there's Mr. Valter in 8th. We'll find out the full order here. So yeah, let's say Crack on pole and MCR line up alongside him in P2. Ryan B and Matt Tibos in the 2nd row are in 3rd and 4th. And all Brett for 2nd row. Jay Hings in 5th with Jordan in 6th. Farrell in 7th. Mr. Vanta in 8th. Connor O'Keefe in 9th with Ryan B in the Red Bull rounding out the top 10. Cam in 11th with Lars in 12th. YHRY, our championship leader, sitting in 13th position. Chill in 14th after... going into the back of Corley Kicker around a blind corner. Matt's in 15th, Hepula Boy in 16th, and then Corley Kicker, as I say, getting disqualified after apparently parking the car in a dangerous location. But the top 14 separated under half a second. In fact, just over 4 tenths of a second. That is absolutely insane.
I didn't even see that. I was too busy focusing on the World War III we're having in the D3 chat at the moment. but half a second. And then if you include Cooler Kicker, if he hadn't got disqualified, that's 15 cars in half a second. Oh.
Same numbers.
It's gonna be close. If quality has anything to say, it's gonna be close.
Certainly is. It certainly is, and I think we've just seen it from Chill's point of view. Yeah, I can't deny. I think Corley Kicker might be getting a penalty for that one, for sure. I don't think. I think that is probably as clear cut as they come. So, yeah, very unfortunate for Corley Kicker, but I suppose it is what it is with that. We're waiting for all the drivers to get their strategies done so we can get the formation lap straight underway. I think this should be a relatively easy one stop of a hard to medium or medium to hard. Maybe if they're feeling a bit brave, they can go medium to soft. I think I have seen it can be done but the softs would have to last for about 15 odd laps or something like that. 10 to 15 odd laps. So it can be done. We'll see if it is going to be done by anybody. Let's have a look. There are a couple drivers on the set of the softs. So we have got Farrell, Cam K, and Chill. Both of the Alfa Romeos and Cam on a set of the softs. And then there's just sort of a mix between the mediums and the hards, although more tended towards the hards than they did on the mediums. So quite interesting with that. But yeah, MCR, Ryan B and Matt Tibos all on a set of the mediums, looking to put a charge on Crack early for early doors. Jordan in 6th, also on a set of the mediums, and then all the way at the back of the grid, Calder Kicker on a set of the mediums, and then as I say, the rest of the grid on a set of the hards. What do you reckon, Ross? Like anyone that's a bit of a surprise on there in terms of their tyre strategy?
Not particular. The two Alfa Romeos are kind of just the just YOLO. God, I didn't want to say YOLO. I'd really tried to avoid it. But they kind of just put whatever tyre on and see what happens. Cam K did this exact same strategy last week. Started on the softs, he nailed it, nursed the tyres, and won the race. So that doesn't shock me at all. No, nothing really shocking me in that grid. Maybe just Crack being on hards. It's a interesting one to do from right at the front.
Yeah, it certainly is. It certainly is going to be an interesting one to see if Crack is going to be able to hold on. If he can hold on, then I think he's got definitely probably the best shot of winning it this evening. If he can't hold on, and then the other medium runners get away, then it's going to be a bit more difficult for him towards the end of the race for him to try and catch up to the rest of them, especially if they're all going to be in a DRS train. But we're now getting all of these guys lined up for round number 15 around the Circuit de Villeneuve. Crack on pole, MCR alongside him. I know you're laughing at me for the pronunciation of it, and I don't really care, but we'll see if any of the Frenchmen are going to correct me, but B, who will be the one that emerges out on top off the start. We have got 3, 4, and the 5 red lights, as I say, for round number 15 of Season X. Out early and away they go. MCR getting a very good start in comparison to Crack, already up into the lead of the race, and Ryan B trying to line up alongside Matt Tibos in towards turn number 1. Crack does break late though. MCR holding it down the inside of turn number 2. Matt Tibos manages to hold on to P3 and Crack manages to hold on to the lead. Farrell already up into 4th position, up ahead of Ryan B in the Mercedes, giving him space on the outside there, but Farrell, the Irishman, now up into 4th position. Very good start from him. Jordan up into 6th as well. Jay Hings losing out 2 positions off of the start. There were just a yellow flags very briefly towards the back end of the field, but a lot of 2x2s going on. Chill and Ryan B in the Red Bull all alongside each other, as well as Lars also there, and Calder Kicker out of the race early doors, and a virtual safety car has come out just to ease off everything so far, but a very commanding start from Crack and from Farrell.
There's absolutely no way Crack did not cut turn 1. Being on board with him, he was not letting MCR go at all. It hardly looked like he even broke into turn 1. It's almost like he's straight lined to the curb. But helped out a little bit by MCR not getting the traction out of turn 2. But yeah, very good start. Farrell, hell of a start. I think the yellow flag at the start would have been Connery Keefe. He dropped down from about 11th to... Oh, interesting.
Farrell has a broken front wing and he's into the pits, and he got a 5-second penalty for speeding. I did not even manage to catch that. I don't know where Farrell got that wing damage from though, because he had an electric start, so I don't know how that wing damage has come about, but once again, Farrell's now just had the bad luck on his side with that, and it's now meant that there's a bit of a gap that's opened up from first down to third, shall I say, sorry, all relatively close to each other. Ryan B now in the Mercedes, already at risk of losing out DRS. We're now back under green flag racing, and now we'll be able to see what everybody's pace is in this race. At the moment, as I say, Crack still in the lead of it. MCR in second and Matt Tibos in third. The 2 Mercedes, 4th and 5th. Jordan had a bit of a neutral start. Jay Hings had a bit of a bad start on his end, but yeah, Jordan I think sort of remained in that same position, just managed to gain one luckily from Farrell, breaking his front wing again, still somehow. I'm not sure how he's done it. Don't know if it was off of a corner or what, but yeah, so Farrell down in P16 with a 5-second penalty. He's probably got to hope a safety card does come out so that he can catch up to the rest of the field, get rid of that penalty as well. As Chill going down the inside of Mr. Walter and gets the move done. The Alfa Romeo now up into P8, of course, on those softs, and now he's got the other soft runner out in front of him of Cam K. Is he going to be able to chase him down? He's going to be able to stick within the DRS as DRS will be enabled on this lap, but he's going to be able to chase him down, get past him, and try and challenge all of the guys up ahead of him.
Yeah, this is what to watch, really. We've got Crack in the lead on the hard compounded tyres, but we've got the soft runners coming through. How quickly can they do it? They're up to 7th and 8th. Obviously, Farrell was up there, but things happen. And as there's a little bit of a slide for Jay Hings, he's gonna slip just out of DRS range. Although the two Mercedes in front they're in and out of the DRS, so potentially Jay Hings manages to get. I don't think he will this time around though, and Cam K's got a pretty decent chance to get passed down into the final chicane. Whether he does it or not, we'll have to wait and see, but he will have DRS open, and he's absolutely flying past the AlphaTauri of Jay Hings. That was a no contest. They should have called it off before it even started, by the looks of that, as Cam K is now up into P6, and we have a move for the lead. That's MCR. Little bit of a tap to Crack on the way through. Crack, it was only a small tap, but forced him onto the grass and made him lose it on the braking, and he's lost the position to Matt Tibot as well now, and he's got Ryan B all over the back of him. So from 1st to 3rd and potentially looking at 4th here, he's got to gather himself again. That was no fault really of anyone there. It was just a bit too close for comfort, but it means Crack's now down to 3rd place and definitely looking behind him rather than in front.
Yeah, he certainly is. I think Conor O'Keefe also going for the move on Mats. He certainly is in towards that second chicane. Mats probably just have to give that one up. But Conor O'Keefe also not having the best of starts. I mean, where did he end up starting throughout all of this? I think he started in P9. He's down to 13, so he's not had the best of starts either. As Mats, massive mistake going through that hairpin. I think Hairpin Boy might have even gone into the back of him. As Cam go for the move on Jordan. Ryan B getting a move on Crack as well. One Mercedes losing out, one gaining off all of that, and now Crack, of course, will have the DRS on his way back through, but he's not going to be able to go back on Ryan B, and Ryan B manages to maintain P3. Conor O'Keefe, the first person to pick up a 3-second time penalty, as Lars into the pits early doors. I'm guessing he must have picked up some wing damage, because you wouldn't come in that early, especially if you're on a set of hard tyres.
Yeah, Conor O'Keefe, before the verge of safety card, there was a yellow flag about turn 3, turn 4. That was Conor O'Keefe. He dropped down to the back. I don't think... this might be recency bias and whatever. I don't think I've ever seen a speed differential of bigger than watching Cam K overtake anyone with DRS. It's honestly ridiculous how much quicker he is than people down the straights. He's overtaking people about the kink when he's half a second back. It's incredible. As he's now up behind Crack, and this is a key move. He needs this one to be able to charge off down the road of against the top 3. Crack's doing a hell of a lot better in defence than everyone else is. As Crack is actually into the pits on hard, so that has to be for a front wing, and he's sped into the pits as well. That has to be front wing damage then for Crack, because unless the hards are just back. No, there is a wing there, so it's onto the soft compounded tyres. That definitely wasn't what he wanted, and he's going to come out maybe just ahead of Lars. I don't know. It's going to be close.
Could have been maybe that contact that he made with MCR going in towards turn 1. Maybe it could have had something to do with it. I'm not too sure, but I suppose we'll probably find out after the race has finished. But yeah, Crack now, unfortunately, starting on pole, is now pretty much in last. Very unfortunate for him. Cam also now start to gain up a bit extra to the back of those top 3, as there's a bit of almost a half spinner. Chill manages to hold on to that by the skin of his teeth, loses out of position in the process of that, but I'm sure he probably prefers that than actually retiring, going straight into the wall. So yeah, Chill now down into P7. Jay Hinks up into 6th position for the time being. But of course, DRS is going to be open. Jordan not going to be close enough to go for a move on Cam. But is Matt Tibos going to be able to go for a move for the lead of the race on MCR? Hot-headed Spaniard at the moment after the contact that he made with Crack. Not going to be able, or still going to be able to hold on to the lead of this race for the time being. Cam manages to hold on to P4 ahead of the charging Scotsman of Jordan as well, and Chill not able to make up that position that he had just lost after making that mistake out of the probably the second fastest chicane on the circuit. As Chill, like I was just saying about him, now picks up 3-second time penalty for his troubles, and I suspect that's not going to be the last 3-second time penalty we're going to see in this race whatsoever. Only on lap 7, as Crack has actually left the session. We're on lap number 7, but yeah, I think definitely a lot more penalties that are going to be coming in this race.
Yeah, I'm surprised we made it to lap 7. We're only on 2 penalties. Yeah, I think Crack's internet was that bad. Like, I was watching him. He was stuck in the pits for a good 20 seconds before it teleported him halfway around the track. So, yeah, there's that. Chill may have just hit the wall, got maybe slight right end plate damage, but he's currently being overtaken by Ryan B of the Red Bull variety down the straight. And that was a fairly simple one. Didn't even have to move off the racing line. Did Ryan B. Cam K is falling away from that top 3. So that top 3 looks pretty set. They're going together. Yeah. Don't know really. It's formed into separate trains. I feel it does this every week. Why? We haven't really mentioned the championship leader.
Oh, Chill! He's just held on to it again! And because of Mr. Valter being right behind him, he slowed down. He has gained a position off of that. In fact, Chill's dropped it. Now Chill has dropped it. I think he's overheated those soft compounder tyre, and yeah, his front wing completely gone. I'm surprised he held it in the first place. He got a virtual safety car out because of that, so he's kind of been given that extra bit of lifeline with that. But yeah, Chill, I've just seen him sliding around all over the place. Now down into P11. It was interesting. I've got to say, it was very interesting, but he manages to hold on to it. Again, not retiring, but is pretty much going to be plumb last unless they can get in by the time the virtual safety before the virtual safety car comes in. As MCR drive through under the VSC, and he was our race leader. He's in fact coming to the pits, probably chuck on a set of the hards to go to the end, but he's picked up a drive through for his troubles. So that's Chill's picked up a drive through as well.
What they're red going in. The Delta's red going into the pits. So they're pushing into the pits. You just gotta stick to the Delta at all times. We know this can happen. It's happened before. It's happened again. So that is it's ruined MCR's. I don't even feel like it's the first time it's happened to MCR. As Mats has now got a drive through speeding into the VSC. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm not quite sure about that one.
He's got another one.
He's got no way. He's got 2.
It's popped up twice on my screen. Crack's now back in the session. Lars has picked up a 3-second time penalty.
Cam K got one as well.
Very strange. Yeah, 4 people have drive-throughs. MCR's just overtaken Happy Boy.
I think.
Yeah, because Cam also did pit, so.
The only one that got one and didn't pit was Matt. So, yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
Very interesting. But what's even more interesting, we've had the top lead change go down. Matt Tibos has now lost the lead to Ryan B. Ryan B, I think he's absolutely loving this at the moment. Straight now onto the onto the top step at this moment. Jordan only a couple seconds behind. Probably going to try and play a bit of Ray Gunner for the rest of the guys behind him, but. Yeah, I think Jordan needs to try and do what he can to hold on ahead of the rest of these guys. Don't forget, though, he's also in a title fight of his own. So Ryan B is going to try and fight as hard as he can against Matt Tibos, as Hepula Boy, picking up a 3-second time penalty now as well for his troubles. But yeah, he's going to try and do his best to hold on ahead of Matt Tibos because, again, as I say, his teammate is in this championship battle with Matt Tibos, so he needs to try and do what he can to hold on ahead of him as Crack. Now back in the session, and for his troubles, picks up a 3-second time penalty in the process, as we also saw a change go down. The two Ferraris just changing positions, P7 to P8, Conor O'Keefe now up into 7th, overtaking Mr. Vata, but are we going to see another lead change go down? Are we going to see Matt Tibos maybe go for the move in towards turn 1, or is Ryan B going to be able to hold on as Matt Tibos picks up 3-second time penalty? There's yellow flags as well. That's Matt's now with that's gone around out of that chicane. Farrell going for the move on Hepina Boy as well before the final chicane. And yeah, Matt Tibos now 3-second time penalty. He's now got to hope there is no safety car unless he gets himself some sort of damage. But yeah, all of this is playing into the hands of MCR at the moment, despite having that drive through. If he can just keep his nose clean and not getting any sort of penalties, he can just drive his own race, because he's got no one in front of him and no one behind him. If he just drives his own race, I think eventually he'll end up catching up.
Well, the thing is, well, no, MCR served his drive through, isn't it? Ecos Mats did get a second drive through and has now retired from the race because he would have been a lap down. And this game's still dodgy with unlapping, isn't it? So, yeah, Matt's not a day to remember as Chill picks up a penalty in 15th. It's, yeah, MCR's got a lot of work to do if he's going to catch up. And actually, Matt Tibos is going for this. Matt Tibos has the lead of the race down the back straight, stays out. So not thinking about pitting yet, but Matt Tibos in the lead with has the DRS, so should hold this. But the Mercedes is coming back into one, but not enough straight. Ran out of time to make that move, and Matt Tibos takes the lead. That penalty is going to loom over him for the rest of the race. Got to make sure he doesn't get another one, because I know after you get your first, it can start to tumble. You can start to just pick them up so quickly once you get one. As Kamke is into the pits, that is the drive through, and he's going to come out in that battle with Lars and Crack, as Lars is adrift out of turn 2. Kamke right in behind Crack now, as Crack has just slammed into the wall. Everywhere I look, it's just there's something going wrong. What do we have? We have Conor O'Keefe on the back of Wyatt Tri-Y, the championship leader, up into 6th position. Everyone's just falling at the wayside for him to pick up the pieces, but this could be an overtake from the Ferrari behind. I think Conor O'Keefe is 3rd in the championship at the moment, so he's one of those in that chasing pack, and he is now ahead of the McLaren driver up into P6, as we have Ryan B up into 4th as Jordan into the pits for his hopefully his one and only stop of the race onto the hard compounder tyres on the end of lap 12 to go to the end. Don't know where he's going to come out. Probably just around, probably ahead of Kamke. So yeah, Jordan, he's definitely, well, he's in the mix with those that have served the drive-through, so I don't really know what that says. It's not exactly the longest pit lane in the world to get that penalty, so yeah, still a long way to go. For how many laps is that? 22 left?
Yeah,
still a lot to go.
What's interesting is that MCR's actually jumped up ahead of Jordan, so even though MCR had the drive-through and served it, he is ahead of Jordan, and Jordan was only, 4 seconds behind the top 2? As I said, MCR is definitely not out of this race of a chance of a race win, especially Matt Tibos now picking up the 3-second time penalty. Ryan B in the Mercedes is now into the pits. This is where we're going to see how close MCR actually is in relation to potentially picking up a win for this evening. He is just making his way down the back straight now, just making his way up towards the final chicane. Ryan B is coming down the pit lane now. Where's MCR actually going to emerge out in terms of Ryan B? There he is on your screen towards the back there. He's only a couple seconds behind. So, yeah, MCR, he's definitely still within a shout of a race win this evening. All it takes really is for Ryan B in the Mercedes to pick up a 3-second time penalty, and then, yeah, MCR's well within that, right, of a race win.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it still is, but it Canada definitely used to be the least time lost in the pits. I think it was something like 16 seconds because you cut out turn one, you go straight to turn two, and you cut out the final chicane. Um, so serving a drive through, you're probably only going to do 12, 13 seconds, and then MCI had pit under the safety car, so I had fresh tyres anyway. So really didn't probably only lost about 20 seconds overall. Then to have fresh tyres, it's not ridiculous at all that he's made. He's only 3 seconds behind the race leaders that he was battling with before. So yeah, not a shock at all. What we haven't had is a response from Matt Tibos. Matt Tibos is still going out there, so I, I don't I don't know the strategies, to be honest. I assume it's medium hards every single week.
Huh.
As Ryan B has just picked up a penalty, so he's joined Matt Tibos. I have noticed MCR is closing that gap. So even with 5-lap fresher tyres, Ryan B cannot pull away. MCR is definitely not out of this one yet.
As I said, all it takes is one penalty, and it can change things. And now, of course, Ryan B's penalty, it means that MCR is going to get up ahead of him. And especially if a safety car does come out, I think MCR will be absolutely loving life if one does end up coming out. Ryan B, though, getting past the other Aston Martin of Hepula Boy now for P8. I don't know if Hepula Boy put up too much of a fight with that going through the hairpin. But yeah, Ryan B, DRS, of course, now wide open for him. So he's got a bit of clear track now to try and catch up to Mr. Vata and to Farrell out in front of him. It's Connor O'Keefe going for the move on Ryan B in the Red Bull into turn number one. I think Ryan's not going to be able to do anything about that. Although they'll say that he would try to maybe hold it around the outside. As Matt Tibos now, another 3-second time penalty for the McLaren. So that's 6 seconds worth of penalties, where MCR still hasn't got a single penalty as of yet. So I think Matt Tibos could be in a bit of trouble. As I said, another retirement. That's Crack on his own out of the hairpin, and that's a safety car. How's that caused a safety car?
It's because the leaders are coming round to it. It wouldn't have cleared in time, and it must have been in a position where.
I'm intrigued on how he's done that on his own, though. I'm very intrigued how he's done that on his own.
That is a good point. I don't even know if I want to know.
Yeah.
But I was literally just thinking, Matt Tibos is what? He's got to be staying out for a safety car or something. And here we have it, lap 16, sorry. And we have a full course safety car. Matt Tibos puts on hard to the end. Oh no. He's done the same thing as everyone else.
Is everyone else going to be able to read this, though? They need to make sure they're going slow into the pits. Jay Hings has managed it. It's Connor O'Keefe, Ryan Bean, White Trail Wide. They've all managed to not get the speed in. Mr. Valter. So they've all managed it. Ryan Bean in the Mercedes, though. Where's he going to emerge out? Is he going to emerge out ahead of Matt Tibos? Well, he probably won't.
No.
But Matt Tibos has got that drive-through he needs to serve when the safety car comes in, because you can't serve it under the safety car. So Matt Tibos will beat that towards the back end of the field. Chill. It's just picked up a drive-through now as well.
Chill did that before as well. I'm pretty sure. That's the second time he's done that this race. He should know better by this point. But I feel like Matt Tibos has sped into the pits quite a few times this season. So to be speeding into safety car going into the pits does not shock me. Mm-hmm. What he's got to hope is the old adage of safety cars breed more safety cars. It's got to come true for him here. He needs to serve that straight away and hope a safety car comes out in the first 5 laps after this restart, because otherwise he's going to have absolutely no chance. Because he's got to get all the way through the field still. Because he serves that.
Yeah.
Whether he stays out a few laps, to be honest, just to let everyone go, but you've got to make sure you served it. We had something in F2 this week. I'm pretty sure it was F2, where I think it was Ariel Tope got a drive-through penalty, and under the safety car, stayed out for 2 laps, and then the safety car came out, So it was like, or like got it the lap before the first safety car, so did a lap, then did 2 laps, and then the safety car came out again on that 3rd lap. So you have to do it in 3 laps. So the safety car restarted, and it disqualified him for not serving it in 3 laps. So you got to be careful. If you get one, you've got to make sure. That's why I always say serve it straight away. You don't want that risk of another safety car coming out and you're being, well, disqualified.
Yeah. No, exactly that. Exactly that. So, Matt Tibos, drive through for him. Ryan B, 3-second time penalty. Jay Hings has now been thrown into the driver's seat. Out of all of that,
Yeah.
he is now our net race leader with those 2 having the penalties out in front of him. Jordan in 2nd and Connor O'Keefe in, I suppose, well, not even a net 3rd. It'll probably still be Ryan B in the Mercedes as a net 3rd position, depending on what Ryan B in the Red Bull can do. It'd be quite interesting. It'd be the battle of the Ryans for the final podium position. It'd be quite interesting. But, yeah, so at the moment, I'm surprised. All of the leaders have just kind of, they said they don't want the lead, basically. Every single one of them basically said they don't want the lead.
Well, what this has done it's really helped out Farrell. Farrell was completely back in this race now. I mean, he was in the mix, but he still had to make his stop. Now everyone's pitted. He's in 10th. He's got a real chance. He's in the group now. Anything can happen once you're there. He's got to get there. And Farrell's there, so we're going to have a safety car restart. As you say, Jay Hings in prime position. I really like the position of Jordan to go on towards the end of this race, but we've still got 17 laps to go, just about at the halfway point of this race. Matt Tibos still leads, but with that drive-through penalty from Ryan B, they both have well, I don't know if they both have multiple penalties. Matt Tibos definitely has 6 seconds as he goes. Good restart from Matt Tibos. You can't obviously overtake until the start-finish line. It was getting quite bunched up in there, but everyone's held position for the time being. Connor O'Keefe was having a look at Jordan. There's that very close between him and Ryan B as they head down to turn 3. And they hold position, but Jordan really hasn't got those hards going with everyone behind him. But Matt Tibos, great restart from him, and he's now got to try and get as much distance between him and everyone else before he serves that drive-through, I guess.
Yeah, no, he certainly does. So is yeah, I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, Matt Tibos though, I think he might stay out maybe an extra lap or 2. Like you were saying, just so he can try and push his way out a bit as Ryan B in the Red Bull diving down the inside of Connor O'Keefe into the hairpin, not able to get the move done. Connor was smart to read that happening, but yeah, Connor keeps 5th position. Jay Hings now gets the move done on Ryan B in the Mercedes. So now, yeah, Jay Hings is definitely our net race leader with, of course, Matt Tibos going to have to serve that drive-through soon. As this has been a collision, Connor O'Keefe into the wall, and there's been another with Jordan as well, and there's another safety car. So like you were saying, exactly what happened in F2, Matt Tibos might end up getting disqualified.
Yeah, this is going to be a close one to call. I think you'll have one more lap. I think because they don't count laps under the safety car. I think that they'd started the 2nd lap of the restart, hadn't they? So I think it'll count 2 laps because he got it when the first safety car was out, not before it. I think he'll have one more lap, but I'll wait and see. He has to go pretty much on the restart. He'll probably have to go straight in the pits.
Yeah, he definitely will. No, I think he definitely will. So yeah, absolute chaotic restart from that. I think it was Jordan trying to defend from Connor O'Keefe. I don't know if Connor just dove it up his inside, hit the side of him and went into the wall. Jordan went with him on that or what, but all I saw was Connor O'Keefe pointing in the Wall of Champions and Jordan just riding along the side of the Wall of Champions. As I say, he's got no front wing at all, so yeah, it's all kicked off now. 13 drivers left out of the 17 that we started with, and we've still got another 15 laps left to go. With the amount of penalties that people are getting as well, Matt Tibos is back into the pits. I'll keep on board with him. Because is it going to let him serve the drive-through? No, I can see his pit crew is out, so it's not going to let him serve drive-through. So he's probably going to chuck on a set of mediums. So, oh no, set of softs.
I like.
Okay. So Matt Tiros on a set of the softs. I don't know if he meant to do that,
He
but on a
may
set of the
think about
softs.
coming back in.
Yeah.
Just to maybe go back on that set of hards, potentially.
I would have said go on another set of the mediums. Because he started on the mediums, went
Or
to the
that.
hards. So my only thinking is he may go on another set of the mediums, be the one that's like last out on track, so that he can just go straight into the pits off of the safety car restart, serve his drive through, and then just do whatever he can on those mediums. Unless he sticks on the softs, keeps it on the softs, and hope that another safety car comes out. That might be the other thing that he's trying.
I think, well, he has to hope that another safety car comes out at this point. At least he learnt his lesson this time around and didn't get another drive-through going into the pits.
Yeah.
But surely, well, maybe he's going for a two-stop. Well, not a two-stop, but you know what, another set of softs after this. Potentially that's what he's doing, because he has got nothing to lose now. He's made the mistake. He missed his chance to rectify the mistake, and it's made it worse. So you gotta just. I think he's just gonna chuck everything at this. Whether he goes into the pits this time around, we'll have to wait and see. They are heading towards the pits. Matt Tibos does not go into the pits, so it is. I think that's what it is. It's confirmed he's gonna go soft to soft at the end of this race. Just try and make up as much time as possible. You can do it around here. The pit lane's short, so it's not the most extreme idea in the world. But yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. I would have gone straight in. That's just my mentality. I can get why you won't, or why you wouldn't. You want to make it as much time so you come out after you drive through and you're ahead of certain people, but it's the risk you take, innit? And it's not paid off for Matt Tibos this time around.
Yeah, that risk definitely has not paid off. I think he definitely got burnt with that one. So Jay Higgs going to be taking us through what I think might be his first safety car restart of the season. I can't remember the last time I've seen Jay Higgs in the lead, if I'm honest with you. So it'd be nice to see see what he does in terms of this safety car restart. Because safety car is coming in at the end of this lap, as it's just stated on your screens. Where is he going to opt to go? Is he going to be able to catch the other guys off guard? Is he going to be able to hold on ahead of Ryan B? Of course, Ryan B is on the set of the hard, so he's probably going to be eaten up by the other guys behind him. Why try why, by the way? He's up in fourth. We haven't realised that. He's up in fourth. In fact, a net third because of Ryan B's penalty. If I'm Jay Higgs, though, I'm surprised he hasn't gone already, because he already had a decent gap between him and Ryan B. He has now gone out of the final chicane, and look at that. Ryan B in the Mercedes has been caught napping the other Ryan B in the Red Bull. It is a battle of the Ryan Bs, and I think whichever Ryan B is going to come out on top, I think it might be the Red Bull one, if I'm honest with you, because he's on the fresher tyre and on the softer tyre as well. So I feel like the Red Bull Ryan might end up. Well, he's in a net second position already anyway.
Yeah, sorry, I was focusing on Matt Tibos. He decided not to pit, and it didn't disqualify him. So I think he has to come in this lap, otherwise I think the game will disqualify him. As we've got Haas out of the race. Is that gonna?
Virtual. Virtual.
Oh.
Does that allow Matt Tibos to still serve it?
No, because I'm pretty sure it was virtual safety cars that caused it in F2. I'd say because it's under safety car conditions anyway, and it's slowed down, I don't think it'll allow him to serve that kind of penalty. But
we're back on the way already.
He'll be able to serve it now. There we go. I was waiting for it.
Let's have a look.
The end of this. There we go.
Had to have
Well
been.
done, sir. Well done, Matt Tibos.
So now he's just praying another safety car comes out. What's interesting, by the way, is that Ryan being a Red Bull, I said he was all over the back of the Mercedes, Ryan. He's now 2 seconds behind him. So I don't know what he's done. I don't know if he's gotten wing damage from like maybe hitting a wall or something. But yeah, Ryan being the Red Bull is now significantly behind. Chill picks up another 3 second time penalty for his troubles. So I'm not sure what's going on. Chill's still got to drive through to serve as well, does he not?
Does he?
He picked.
Oh,
Did he not
God,
pick one up?
No, Chill does not. Chill does not. He's already served it. Oh, no, he didn't get another one, did he?
Yeah,
I think he
because
got another
remember
one.
we were saying that he picked it up. He did the same mistake as what he did earlier on in the race.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
Unless
I
he
was saying
served
he
it.
didn't do it.
Oh.
But White's gone
Oh!
so deep into the hairpin. Oh my God, he was on the grass on the left-hand side going around the outside of Ryan B, and now he's fighting with Farrell. So here we are. White and Farrell are together on track. Wouldn't have thought this was going to happen at the start, and especially after Farrell went to the back. But here we are. White and Farrell right next to each other. Right, there just doesn't looks something slightly wrong with the Red Bull of Ryan. It just doesn't look on the nose as it should be. It looks like it's turning a bit. Well, it does look like it's got damage, but you can't see anything, and it's not noticeable enough to make him fall backwards. It's just making him slower.
Yeah, maybe he does have some sort of issue then, but just I suppose it's not enough to the point where it's like, yeah, come in and sort it out. So yeah, Ryan B probably, as I say, carrying a bit of damage. The other Ryan B now out of DRS from Jay Higgs. Jay Higgs is now just being allowed to run away with this on a fresher and softer compound tyre in comparison to Ryan B in the Mercedes. And now it's up to both Ryan Bs to try and hold on ahead of everybody else. White or white, as I say, he is on the podium because of because of Ryan B and Mr. Valter's penalties. He is on the podium at this present moment, although only just on the podium. He needs to get past Mr. Valter to be on this podium and then gain an extra jump in this championship. But yeah, at the moment, I'm genuinely surprised that White has managed to claw his way back onto the get his way back onto the podium, despite starting down in what was it, P13 or P12?
It's kind of been handed to him, to be honest. He's not. I haven't actually seen him make. Maybe I've seen him make one overtake as Ryan B gets another penalty. So that is now 6 seconds for the Mercedes driver, which actually puts Mr. Walter above him as well. Yeah, I don't think I've actually seen. I've maybe seen one overtake from White in this race. He's just been behind at the back of every train I've seen, and yet everyone else just fallen in front of him, and here he is, P5 on the road, P3. When penalties are taken into account, he's not really done anything other than keep it clean and keep up with the guys in front. I do have to say is we've got White, we've got Farrell, and then we have MCR and Camk, who have clearly shown their pace during this one. As actually Camk's going for a move of the inside of the chicane and is absolutely forced onto the curb on the inside of the first part of the chicane. Had nowhere else to go. MCR was not giving him any room there. Thought Camk was going to get that move done surely on the inside, but MCR shuts the door. Now they're falling a bit further back, but they were right there with Farrell and White, and form would probably say they were a bit quicker, and now they've got Chill to worry about behind. But 12 seconds of penalties kind of takes that out of the equation. But yeah, they're all really close together now. Ryan B is now half a second off the back of Ryan B. So.
Oh.
Yeah, and Ryan B is not very. I'm doing this on purpose, but Ryan B is not very far off the back of. Well, not very far off. He wasn't very far off DRS. He is about half a second now, but everyone is in DRS from P2 down to P11, and there's only 12 people in the race, so that's 10 of them. As Ryan B overtakes Ryan B for P2, Red Bull in front of the Mercedes. He's gonna try and come back at him. down the pit straight, but nothing doing without DRS. And I mean, the Mercedes Ryan B's on the hards, isn't he? He's gonna struggle. 14 laps in to this hard stint. As Jay Hings picks up a penalty.
Not what you need. Not what you need. You think Jay Hings is going to be on for the win with this, but now that penalty for him is now throwing him under the bus. 7 laps left to go. Ryan B in the Red Bull now in a prime position, but as I say that, he is losing an oodles amount of time to Jay Hings. Jay Hings has stepped it up another notch in comparison to Ryan B in the Red Bull, and the Red Bull now has got to try and stay within the 3 seconds of Jay Hings, but if he tries to do that, there's then the opportunity of him being able to get himself a penalty. Why try why? He's on for the win. Could be on for the win this evening somehow.
That could be absolutely mental, because honestly hasn't shown me anything special today, and he's gonna pull out yet another podium. It just seems to be there every single week. Oh, that's an interesting one. Chill has actually got, with the 12 seconds penalties, Chill has actually got through of both MCR and Cam K. He's now up to P7 on the road. Obviously, he's going to fall miles back at the end of this race with those pens, but he's P7 on road. Oh, and he's just drifted out of turn 2. He's going to manage to hold on to that one. He is, as Ryan B picks up another penalty. Wow, okay, yeah, that's any chance of winning this race out the window for the Mercedes of Ryan B. So really any chance of a podium out the window. Actually, no, I take it back. Chill's on 15 seconds of penalties now.
Oh, the other Ryan B picked up a penalty.
Oh my god.
So YHYY is on for a win. If he can get past Mr. Valter, I think, and maybe get past Ryan B in the Mercedes, YHYY is on course for a win. Jay Hings, though, he's almost 3 seconds out ahead of Ryan B in the Red Bull. So he's about, in fact, we have a look at gap to the leader between them all as Mr. Valter gets the move done on Ryan B in the Mercedes. Gap to the leader, YHYY is 3.4 seconds behind Jay Hings. He needs that gap down, just that extra bit more. And yeah, Farrell's going to try and go for a move on YHYY. This could be a race-leading move between these two. The championship battle going on as well. Dives it down the inside in towards turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. They're both side by side. Not enough room left on the inside for YHYY. And Farrell's up into 5th. He's now on course for a race win this evening. After all that's happened earlier on.
That was so nearly an airplane crash into turn 1. Watching Farrell trying to overtake sideways on YHYY. Managed to straighten it up, went deep, and now Mr. Wouters being overtaken by Ryan B and Farrell. Farrell up into P4 on the road. It's nowhere near within range for Jay Hings, but he's he's on a charge at the moment. I saw him, he absolutely sent it through the chicane, and actually YHYY is now behind the Alfa Romeo of Chill. Chill's P6 on the road with these 15 seconds of penalties. He's put, this is a Ben JS masterclass in the making from QPR Chill. gonna lead the race and get disqualified at the same time. So but no, the Alfa Romeos are flying. Farrell up to P4 on track, P2 after penalties. This is mental. As Ryan B goes for a move on Ryan B, and this will put oh wow, that's off the track completely by the Mercedes. Here's Farrell. Here goes Farrell.
Oh, Farrell's going to go down the inside and get one of them. He's not going to be able to get the other one, but he's now up to 3rd. Farrell is still within a shot of a win this evening. He's just got to get past the other Ryan B and try and do what he can to catch up to Jay Hings, but Ryan B and the Red Bull's diving it down the inside. Smacks the side of Farrell there. Hopefully Farrell didn't get himself any wing damage from that, because that was a big hit, but Farrell, he's still going to have the DRS on the back of Ryan B. Mr. Valter's now going to try and go for it. They're 3 wide going in towards the chicane. No way you want to be going 3 wide. Mr. Valter's hit the side of Ryan B. Farrell is now going to hold it around the outside. Chill's just gotten wing damage off of all of that as well. They're all still side by side. They're 3 wide. Ryan B's in the wall. And is that going to cause a safety car? Chill's gone extremely wide. Going through the hairpin. He's got no front wing anymore. There's no safety car at the moment.
Oh, poor Matt Tibos. That's all I can think about at the moment. I thought that was going to be his moment. He was back in the race. That was absolute carnage, and it really didn't need to be like that. That was fighting for the sake of fighting. There was nothing to be gained from any of that. I don't get what Ryan B was doing. I really don't. But we've had all of that, and suddenly we've got White trying to go back up the inside of Farrell. That was pain. I don't get the send from Ryan B at the second chicane. It was just, it didn't need to be done, and it's ended in chaos. I don't even know how it ended in chaos. I missed that part. It was too much going on. I can think without mistake, though, I think we can safely say that has given Jay Hings, all he's got to do is keep it clean, and Jay Hings has got this win. Because the person behind him has 9 seconds of penalties, and the next person without penalties is about 7 seconds behind. So, if not, I think, maybe even a bit further. So, I don't know. Does Mr. Wow to have damage as well now? I honestly didn't see what happened. There was too much going on. But
I don't think he did.
is understeering everywhere. I don't know. It's hurting my head a little bit now. There's that much going on. Farrell is derating and Mr. Wow to cut the chicane.
Yeah, he went very deep through there. It meant that he lost out a multitude of positions. Cam K and MCR, in fact, as I say that, Mr. Valter now losing out to Jordan as well. I don't know how. It's now really a battle for, I think, what is the final podium position, because Farrell is only just within 3 seconds of Ryan B. To be fair, actually, no, it's not going to be final position. It'll be Y versus Cam K versus MCR versus Jordan for the final podium position for this evening. I think Farrell is pretty much going to secure second position, but it's up to White to try and hold off the rest of the guys he's also battling for this championship, obviously other than Farrell up in front of him, but to try and hold the rest of those guys off for this final podium position. And starting down in, I think, as I say, in 12th position, now up fighting for this final podium spot, Cam K, MCR and Jordan all also trying to do the same. Obviously MCR picking up that drive through early on, and then just the extra safety cars has not helped him out at all. It's now meant that they're all fighting for these podium positions. Only 11 drivers left to go, and I think Chill's probably just going to be content with sitting at the back and just driving around, maybe trying to go for the fastest lap point if he can. But Cam running out of ERS as White wide, a 3-second time penalty for our championship leader. That's another 3 positions he's going to lose out on because of all of that. Unless he picked up a warning from the battle with Farrell, then I think White he's dropping down to P7 after all of that. So it's now up to Cam, to MCR and Jordan to try and get past them, try and get themselves onto that final podium position up ahead of Ryan B. I think, in fact, they still will, because he had 9 seconds of penalties, didn't he? So, yeah, Cam K is now on the podium. After all of that going down, MCR and Jordan are also trying to fight the American for the final podium spot. And they're sitting 5th, 6th and 7th.
YHY got 2 warnings on the same lap. Now, I obviously don't know the situation there. It was lap 27 was his first warning. And now he has a penalty. So whether those were 2 at the same time, or it was one of them was potentially with Farrell, don't know. But in other news, Chill's got the fastest lap, and in more news, Chill got another penalty getting that fastest lap. So Chill's now up to a nice 18 seconds, whilst being the fastest driver on the track. As I said, a Ben JS masterclass.
Yeah, no, exactly. Hepula Boy trying to go down the inside of Mr. Valter in the final, in the first corner on the final lap. Hepula Boy just has to stick behind him for the time being. But yeah, it's all kicked off. It's all gone to chaos. But Jay Hings, so far, if he can keep it on the road now, just with a couple extra corners to go, as Matt Tibos picks up a 3-second time penalty, there's yellow flags. That's Hepula Boy. Hepula Boy's run out of fuel. Has he not? Oh, no, sorry, he's got front right plate end plate damage, so he must have made contact, I think, with Mr. Valter after all of that. So, yeah, very unfortunate for Hepula Boy. I'm not sure what had happened with all of that, with those, but I think they definitely got in a bit of a squabble as MCR now trying to fight Cam K for this final podium position. Spaniard might have to go for the dive down the inside here into the hairpin. No, he doesn't. He sits behind him, sits it reserved. Cam K parks it on the apex. MCR has got a significant more amount of ERS in comparison to the American. I don't think he's going to be close enough. I think the Spaniard's just going to have to settle for a net P4, but Jay Hings coming around the final chicane now. His first LOE win. It's been a bit of a comfortable one for him. he comes across the line to take the win this evening. As I say, the first win in the League of Europe. Farrell, after all of that, finishes second. Cam has finished in third. I don't know how he's managed that. MCR in fourth, Jordan in fifth. YHY does finish sixth in the end. Mr. Vata in seventh. Ryan B finished in second on track and has actually finished in eighth after penalties. Hep Boy in ninth. Matt Tibos in 10th. And Chill, I think, just having a nice little reverse over the line. And that was absolute chaos of a race.
If there was a race to sum up Division 3, I think that's it. Just chaos everywhere, and so many penalties that you actually have to do maths to work out the final result. I think, yeah, that's actually, it's been pretty different this season, but it shows when you don't get penalties, it makes your life a lot easier. And Farrell and Cam K on the podium because they didn't get any penalties. I'm actually quite disappointed Chill didn't get disqualified with the amount of penalties he got. So needed to try harder to get more. But there's always next week, I guess.
There certainly is. But yeah, Jay Hinks, congratulations. First race win of the season in League of Europe. And first League of Europe win as well. So a bit of an extra commanding effort, especially with that 3-second time penalty. I think as soon as the chaos ensued behind him, he was allowed to run away with it. So he made the most of that and took the win this evening. Farrell, as I say, finishing in second, despite all of what had happened with that, ends up taking second. Cam K in third. MCR in fourth, Jordan in fifth, our championship leader down in sixth. Means that those guys out in front of him, Farrell, Cam, MCR and Jordan, are all at least being allowed to catch up that bit extra to our championship leader. Mr. Vata in 7th, Ryan B in the Mercedes in 8th, Happy Boy in 9th, Matt Tibos in 10th, Chill in 11th, Ryan B in the Red Bull, not picking up a point, but purely because he wasn't within the 90% threshold. Lars, Connor O'Keefe, Crack, Matt and Corley Kicker, all our final positions. Of course, not actual points positions, but our final positions of unfortunately not finishing the race. So that is it for Division 3. As I say, very chaotic one. And hopefully we see the same again next week over at Austin. Make sure you guys are tuning into that, because I say you do not want to miss out on that one. The championship gap, with Farrell finishing in second and YHY finishing in sixth, means that YHY it's an extra. I'm trying to calculate this. An extra 12 points that he's made up. 12-point gap from that means the 22 points behind YHY is the Irishman of Farrell. So definitely not one you want to miss out on, for sure. I think it's almost turned into a 2-horse race. Just after that race alone, after Connor O'Keefe DNFing, Matt Tibos not picking up a significant amount of points, Corley Kicker DNF and Jordan picking up a decent set of points, the same with Cam K and same with MCR, but they're quite significantly behind anyway. It's almost turned into that 2-horse race, so you do not want to miss out at all on this championship battle, especially if the last 3 races are going to be like what they were tonight. Any final words at all, Ross, for this evening?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm still trying to like figure out what happened. Like, yeah. I mean, even from quali, there was chaos in quali, so I probably should have expected it, but I would ask for more next week, but if I can't comprehend it, maybe bring it down slightly to my level, so I can. But yeah, more of that. That was fantastic. No matter what happened to anyone, that was great to watch.
Yeah, it certainly was. It certainly was. So, thank you to everybody that has tuned in tonight. Make sure you guys are tuning in to Division 2 and Division 4 in the next 20 minutes' time. Division 2 covered by NSX Montana and Division 4 covered by QVR Verstappen. As I say, championship battles going on left, right, and centre. You do not want to be missing out on. And then next week, as I say, we're here for round number 16. around the circuit of the Americas, Division 1 and Division 3 at 6:30 p.m. GMT or UK time. Division 1 covered by QVR Killer and NSX Kenworthy or Oxide Nova, and Division 3, of course, with myself and with RJ as well. So you do not be missing out on any of those. But like I say, thank you to everyone that's tuned in for tonight, and we'll catch you guys next week for round number 16 around the circuit of the Americas.